I'm not quite sure what I'm doing in this game at the moment. I have to look and see where I am overworld. Okay. I think I'm kind of exploring the area around Provost. I still haven't really, at the time I'm doing this, I haven't like seen a map of Final Fantasy or the in-game one or any kind of like other map that you can find on the internet. So, what that entails is just me kind of moving about and exploring on my own. Thankfully, a lot of the kind of because of all of the grinding I did on the Chaos Shrine, it makes exploring not only doable but almost enjoyable to some extent, and it's something I can do comfortably. And also, I get experience obviously from these battles, so it makes like I wasn't pressured to go find the map. The only reason I did later is because there's really only like you're kind of like trapped in like the ocean that you're sailing like to the left right there. It's really just kind of like one big circle. There's a port where you can port your ship in front of Provost, obviously, which is where you get the ship after beating the pirate in that city. There's one in front of Cornelia. There's one in front of Cornelia, which is the first castle you start the game at. And then there's one kind of north of Elfheim, and actually right in front of Elfheim, but isn't accessible from the kind of area that you're trapped in before you get the nitro powder from Cornelia with the Mystic Key. So yeah, I think that's more or less what I'm doing in the game now. I've actually kind of applied some of the recent editing changes that I've made whilst playing Pokemon Eternal Emerald to some of my Dragon Quest VIII videos. I think they'll look pretty nice. It looks really nice with the kind of layout I'm using with the Citra emulator. The one where it's like the two DS screens, like to the right, and then like the big top DS screen to the left. In the settings on the Citra emulator, I think that's called Hybrid, for people that are wondering. And obviously I'm using the Anime 4K filter on the highest setting, so if you want to play it like that. The only thing that really got cut out of the video was the Bandicam watermark, but I think the video looks a little bit better than it did before, and I already thought it looked like amazing by way of Citra, Bandicam to a lesser extent, and just the resolution I was playing on Citra with the Anime 4K filter just made the game look a little bit better. There's still some kind of bars over top of the video, so it kind of looks like a widescreen movie back in the day when you were, they made movies like that. But it does kind of give it a more cinematic effect, so that'll probably be starting around the 33rd video in that playlist. As it pertains to Final Fantasy, it'll probably be like the 32nd video there. So these changes will be happening around the same time, probably. Phantom Breakers, it'll be like around the 56th video. I started playing that game a little bit early before the two RPGs in the first channel. And there's not really any editing changes that need to be made for Pokemon Showdown. I don't think. I'm not going to try to get too fancy with that game. I think it looks great the way it does. I have to say Eternal Emerald looks like really, really good after editing the screen, because when you're going in and out of like different places, the black part changes. Like if you enter a home, the Pokemon Center, or like it's just very cinematic. You'll notice when I play that game, when you enter certain places, like if I walk in somebody's home, it's like a smaller space, and the outer area just kind of blends in really beautifully with the kind of default layout of what it looks like after you just crop the screen inherently. So there's like a thin black bar at the top of the video between like where the screen ends and then where the video is being played, and there's an even bigger similar bar underneath the same video, and then on either side of the video you have these kind of like vertical black spaces that don't change regardless. But with all that being said, like as you're playing the game, you'll see I'm probably going to start uploading that game sometime tomorrow around the 1st of April. And like I said, I'm not going to make any commentaries over there, but people can see that game for what it is. It looks really beautiful. I'm hoping that like as I progress with trying to edit in a more professional way, like everything will kind of come together. That's the pirate that you have to beat his crew in order to get the ship. I think Final Fantasy will probably be like the only true full screen video after I institute all these kind of like similar editing changes. And funnily enough, it'll be the only video that'll still retain the Bandicam watermark, so that'll be good.